What's up, my peeps? What's up? Man, I miss you guys, man. What's up? What's up? It's me. I'm just getting myself together, man. Just came in a little minute ago. I just had to rush and get some stuff together. So you guys give me a little second. Let me fix myself. I just rushed and shaved. Didn't know what the heck that was going to go on. Didn't know what was happening with that, but dedication and motivation, guys. I thought about you guys while I was out here today. So I'm going to get myself together. You get yourself together. And I'll be right back. And you know what I got to get? I got to get my water. Be right back. So what's up, my people, my people, my people, my people? What's up? How's everybody doing? Man, I just barely made it in here for you guys today, man. I just barely made it. So if you see me adjusting some stuff, because like they say, man, a man don't work, he don't eat. So, but I thought about you guys, so I'm just gonna get everything together. Don't mind me, guys, man. You guys know how I do it. Once I turn it on, I don't turn it off until it's over. Looks like I got some type of slow connection, but something's been trying to challenge me all day. But that's what I kind of try to tell you guys, right? That no matter what, you always hold on to your 90, man, because that 10%, man, the world just mess with you, man. Wait till I tell you about the day I had. But at the end of the day, I was thinking about you guys. But before we go any further, you already know how we do our thing. So grab whatever you need, whatever it is, eat, drink, snacks, whatever it is, and we're going to get it popping, okay? Make sure you shake it up because that coconut water, that stuff will sit right at the bottom. But before we get going, somebody's coming in. Come on in here. What's up, man? How you doing? I got the 8. Hey, Vanity, my girl. First of all, welcome. Secondly, I messed up my phone, man, so I wasn't able to respond to you, but I'm going to get back to you on that. I think I may have somebody, and we're going to talk about that with your permission at another time so we can kind of let people know what you're into. Guys, Vanity. Oh, man, I'm doing good. I'm here. Thank you, Vanity. Like I said, my dear, I got that last message about what you're into. And for anybody that knows, I don't want to really put Vanity out there like that, but she's like one of those people that I've known for a very, very, very long time. She's been into acting. She's been into theater. She's been into all that forever. And she's a part of these group of people who are these up and coming. And I don't want to put any words in her mouth, but they finding some new talent, some young talent. So if you're one of those type of people, if you're into that type of stuff, reach out to me and I'll reach out to Vanity as well. Vanity, welcome. Thank you so much. And let's get it going. So before I get going, you know how we do it. I got to get my coconut water. But how's everybody been? How you doing? How's your family? It's been 7 days since we spoke with each other. And it's been a long 7 days, man. A lot of things has happened. Man, I got some stuff for you guys today. I got some current events that's gonna, so, all right. So last week, I was looking at my video and I saw that I was kind of really being not a little too hard on us men, right? And I want to make a couple of corrections, right? Like the last time it sounded like I was saying every man. And it's not every man. There are some good men out there, right? So I think when I was looking at that, I saw that it made it look like, come on, man, and all that. I'm just speaking with a microphone with one of those phones saying, "Hey, listen, guys, come on, y'all, we can do better than what we're doing," you know. And so, you know me, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So I have some things here, guys, that even though I want to give us a break, I got some examples of how it's so hard dealing with men who are in their feelings, who don't know how to handle some things and stuff like that. So y'all wait till y'all hear what I got to say for that stuff there. I got some current events, I got some brain teasers, and just basically just talk about some things, right? Because I had a long day. I'm sure some of you guys did. And I want to get up here. And you know, I'm going to tell you, you guys gave me motivation today, right? Because that's why we're doing this here, right? I'm doing this to motivate you guys. I'm doing this to inspire someone. And that's what you guys did. But I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Before I go, before I start, let me just go right here. Welcome everybody. And if I'm going in and out, it looks like it's saying that it's some slow connection on this side. Again, I'm up here in the north. There's trees, there's mountains, there's all that. Hey, Felicia, what's up? See my people. Okay, let me get to it now, because when y'all be coming in, man, y'all throw me off. I got to get back on it. So listen, welcome to the two people in here, Felicia, Vanny. I love you guys. You already know. These guys know me. But I want to take the opportunity first to welcome everybody back. Two, to say to you guys that you guys have humbled me. You guys make me feel so like inspired, right? Because I want you to think of this. The last time I talked to you guys, which was a week ago, the last two videos that I have, and the reason why I keep bringing this up is to let people know that it could happen. It could work. Vanity, Felicia, you two are two people who have known. Oh, you're on your way home? Okay, get home safely, okay? And wow, you're on your way home and you're listening or looking at my video. That's completely awesome, and I'm so humbled. But I want to say to you two, primarily, you two, and then there's Shannon. There's a whole bunch of you guys. You guys had my back when I first went through this thing over a year and a half ago, where I used this, and this is what I was trying to tell the people last week. I used this as a platform, right, for help, right? I was going through something, and what I want to do is because listen, just to let you guys know, from last week to now, do you guys know 550 people have watched this video? The one before this, the one last week, was almost 400, about 385. The one before that was you know what I mean? I mean, come on, guys. If that's not telling me, if that's not telling you that we're doing something good, that somebody is listening or somebody's passing it on or somebody, yeah, man, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff that I'm someone who's not paying people. I'm feeding the soul. I'm feeding the spirit. I'm using my experiences in my life, two of them, which involve these two people here, Felicia and Vanity. Vanity, I've known Vanity forever. I mean, if I'm in my 50s, Vanity, I won't give you age. I've known this person since I've been in. Yeah, you better believe it, man. I've known Vanity, man. I mean, her and I did theater together. So I'm glad she's on, and I'm glad Felicia's on, because I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that involve those two, and they will tell you if I'm lying or not, right? Right, you teaching me again. Well, no, you're teaching me. Vanity's teaching me. The folks that are in here watching this is teaching me, right? So what I want to start this off is to talk to the people who don't know me. Because when I looked at that video, I saw all those eyes that may have been watching me, right? Some people are probably, who's this guy? What is he, how does he have the pulse of this? And how does he know about that? And he's trying to tell us this and this. Okay. That's a fair enough critique, right? Constructive criticism, right? You're like, man, who's this dude? Because listen, I'm not naive to think that out of 400 or 500 people, which by the way is 500, that every single one of those eyes are are thinking or wanting something positive for me, right? Or want some of them. Listen, if that happens, that's awesome. But if it doesn't, I understand. But I want to say to you guys, even the ones who are hating, even the ones who are looking on there to see if I crash and burn, even the ones who's like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. I want to say thank you, right? Because at least you're tapping in. At least you're curious to say, let me see what this dude's talking about. Even if you go out, at least you're doing it, right? And like I said, a good try is better than a bad fail. So I really appreciate it and thank you. But I also want to say to you that you are a part of the positive masses, right? Because if it wasn't for the haters or the people who are looking at this, don't you know every time you watch it, you're kind of making me feel good. So, in essence, if you're trying to do this to see something negative in me, you're actually inserting something positive. Thank you very much. All kidding aside, even the ones who are in this, yeah, man, haters build us up. But I'm being real. I can't sit up here and think that every single one of you suckers out here got my back, that every single one of y'all are on here to see something positive. I can't be fooled. I would love to be, but I can't be, right? You got to be realistic in this. But I want to say that every single one of you 500 and something people who keep watching this, thank you very much. It's like a band in a hand, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link. And I really appreciate it. So moving right along, let's get going now, okay? So to those folks there who may not know who I am, let me just give you a little bit about me, right? So not basically the old, he was born here and raised here. No. It's like a car, right? It's like a vehicle that you see. You want to see what's underneath the hood. It sounds good. It looks good. You want to see what's underneath it. So I'm going to kind of run down some things about me. It's not about glossing. It's not about flossing. It's not because look at me. I'm still here. So obviously something's not, you know what I mean? So obviously I am a humbled, modest person because I'm still here like that, right? But I want to tell you a little bit. I want to run down a couple of things of what I've done. And both Vanity and Felicia and other people who are watching this, if you guys know and was around me around this time, you know that I'm telling 100% truth. So before I start, every single thing that I'm about to tell you is 100% true. Okay, fair enough? Let's go. Okay, so to those people who want to know a little bit about me, you know my name is Thomas. Okay, we got that out of the way. All right, so I'm going to give you kind of a rundown of things that I've done in my life, which have led me that I believe to be this motivational, inspirational speaker, right? It's, because a lot of people try to, he's an influencer, or she's a motivational thing, or she's a YouTuber. No, but what's underneath that hood? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Okay, so my first induction into speaking was when I was in middle school, right? I went to Martin Luther King Middle School, which, by the way, I'm going to come back to that because I just want to bring something to you guys' attention and give a condolences. But for the most part, let's get back into that. So at the age in my first induction into public speaking out in the open was when I was in middle school. I was in the 6th grade. It was what they call an oratorical contest, right? And what that is oratorical, oral, right? Speaking. So around that time, now you figure however old I was, whatever my age was in middle school, the 6th grade, that's what I was, right? So you stand in front of the auditorium. Back then, they had an auditorium full of people. So you would have hundreds of people up in there, right? A big auditorium. And and this is when I was, I grew up with a Southern grandmother, right? Who taught me a lot of the things that I have and I instill in people and in myself now, right? That I pass down to my people. My kids, my grandkids and stuff like that, right? So I was raised by that Southern grandmother who taught me all of that. At that time, that's when I got into middle school, Martin Luther King Middle School. When I took on that challenge, I wrote a 2.5-page speech on crime in America. And I stood in front of the crowd, and I remember my theater person who taught me, he used to teach me. And Vanity, you know about this. You've been in acting way past me. He used to teach me. You look, you pick a point. You pick somewhere in the back of the room, and you stare at it, and it makes it look like you're looking at everybody. It's just like that whole look at everybody and imagine them, naked or whatever, right, or whatever. So that was my first induction into speaking, and I loved it. And guess what, guys? I won first place, right? It was a plaque about that big. And my grandmother, Nana, rest in peace, she had it. So I won first place in oratorical contest. That was my first introduction. Exactly. See, she knows. That was my first introduction into speaking, public speaking. So that's why I can stand in front of you guys right here with this camera, right? I had a long day at work, guys. When I tell you the powers that be did not want me here, but guess who wanted me here? Right? Because you guys came to watch and he let it happen. That's what I'm saying. See? Sometimes you just got to keep moving one foot in front of the other. And when I tell you the type of day I had this morning, guys, this today that led up to even just now with me getting on here, dedication and sacrifice. Because I was thinking about you guys the whole time. That's what's up. Okay. So back to this. So yes. So when I won that oratorical contest, that just really kind of like, whoa. And then shortly after that is when I met Miss Vanity Reyes, which, by the way, if you guys know about her, she's done acting, she's done extra work, she's done writing, she's done recording, she's done all of that stuff, and it came from her and I being in South Boston High School. And in fact, Ralph Tresvant from New Edition was in our class around the time that they just made it. And if I'm lying, I'm sure Vanity, or if I'm mistaken, I'm sure she'll correct me. So her, me, Ralph, and Vanity, along with others, we had that in our veins from earlier on, right? So I ended up taking that on. And then in high school, took up theater. And at that point, my theater person was Steve Seidel. Oh man, yeah, they were the days, Vanity. Steve Seidel is one that I really love because he got me into writing. And one of the things he used to do in a class that, and I think Vanity won some as well. We both did, right? Okay, you're going to go study the Bible study. See, she comes in, she says what's up, and she goes off. Well, Felicia, you make sure you say a nice little prayer for us, for your family on Facebook, we just keep fighting the fight and keep moving one step in front of the other. And you just ask for God to watch over us and to keep us protected and to keep us on this path. But have a good one, Felicia, and thank you so much. So, guys, when I went to high school, and like I said, Vanity and I, we met, and we were in the same theater class. And one of the things that Steve Seidel, our teacher, used to do is, and I could be wrong in this, but during the beginning of the week, he used to have us write little plays, right? And whoever had the best play, or I don't know if it was the best voted play or the best play, but they could act their play out. They could direct their play at the end of the week. Or at best the next week. And that was something that I'm sure Vanity and I know I've won a couple and I know Vanity has. So basically, if your play is the best play out of everyone in the class at that point, then you get to direct it. So that was the first, and that was the second induction sort of thing. See what I'm saying? So it went from there. And then from high school, I went to college. I went to Northeastern, took up theater. But as we all know how it was back then, you say you're gonna drop. I'm gonna get out. I have my two sons. Well, I have my older son first, and yeah, I'm gonna go. Darrell. I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna take a year off. Well, a year turned into 2, turned into 3. Here we are. So that was my induction right there. I also, around that time, before I became a court officer, my first job was in the school newspaper back at Southie High. Again, talking to people, things like that. And then after that, my first job with dealing with people and dealing with the public, customer service, really was a sneaker job on the corner of Columbia Road and Magnolia back in the days. That was a couple of years before I became a court officer. So I want to say that's like 86. I know my internet is acting up too. Yeah. So Hopefully, guys, you guys are seeing this. You know, modern technology, and hopefully the internet. My internet is saying it's slow connection and all that other crap. I just hope this thing comes through, but I'm gonna keep it going because I told y'all there's powers that be that are trying to stop this here. I will promise you this: if I go back on there and see that it's all irky jerky and all that, I will come on again, guys. But I'll let you guys know that, all right? Usually that doesn't go over well because people have stuff to do and they have to go back on. Okay, so let me just try to make sure that everything is everything. That may have been low. Hold on. Yeah, because like I said, yo, everything's trying to stop us from being us, but us. But anyway, so so I took up theater. Around that time, right before I became a court officer, I was also working at Beth Israel in the kitchen. And then around that time, I was in the Longwood area. So around that time was a Chuck Stewart, you know, that about the gentleman, the white man who went and said that a black man shot his pregnant wife, and then they turned the city upside down. Well, I was around that time. In fact, I was built, you know, just like what the defendant was, right? Tall, slim, Adidas jumpsuit, things like that. So I did that, and then 1989, June of 1989, my life changed. I went from working Boston housing, you know, groundskeeper, right? So again, guys, right? I worked the gamut, working different things, man. So it does not matter. And I understand, man, I've heard this internet is going in and out. It's one of those days today, but I'm gonna keep it going till it ends here, guys. So, like I said, took up theater, went there, got out of there, did some extra work when I was acting, right? Met Kevin Bacon from Footloose and Friday the 13th. Well, I met him after Friday the 13th, but before Footloose. And I remember we were extra and we were having a conversation. I was actually asking him, and Kevin Bacon, by the way, is a really good dude, man. This was back in the days. And I remember now he was at the height of his, because it was right before he did Footloose, but it was right after. So it was like 80, I wasn't a court officer yet. I was still in school, but it was probably about after I graduated. I think it was like 86. And then like 3 years later, I became a court officer, 89. And then that changed my life, man. You know, a lot of it has been for the better, right? Because I was 21, right? So I tell people, where were you in 1989, right? So I'll ask you, where were you June 19th of 1989? I'll let you wait for a second. And just so you know, we may go over a little bit, just so you know. So if you have to go and come back, please do. But yeah, this connection is really slow and it's messing up. Well, in 1989, guys, I became a court officer. Fresh, you know, had lines in my ear, had an earring in my ear. And I remember they didn't like... and I'm saying this for a reason, because one of my current events, I want y'all know me. I'm like a boomerang. When I throw it out, it come right back around. I'm bringing this up specifically about a young person in a work environment of older men who feel like they are privileged and that they belong and nobody else. So, 1989 became a court officer. Then that's when people, you know, they saw me at this point. I was from the projects. Right. At that point, I had lost my brother 8 years prior. Right. So I lost my brother in 81, became a court officer in 89. Grew up literally in the system, was around a lot of sorry, guys. Excuse me, but I'm about to say this. The old white boy network. Right. And you guys are old enough. Y'all know what that means. Right. That old network that, you know, white is right. You know, you don't have the what? Young black kid, what are you? And the reason why I say that is because they were taking bets that I would only make it a couple of years. I had two sons that I have to this day that they call me the baby maker back then, right? People were actually taking bets that I wouldn't make it. So 20 years later, the reason I'm bringing that up, right, is because what I'm trying to tell you guys is about your experiences. Your life experiences, good, bad, or indifferent, that leads you to now, right? You don't want to go through life with everything going perfect. No, you want to have your ups and downs, ins and outs, right? Because everything that encompassed who I was before June 19th, and I became that court officer, right? I used it in every single thing. One specifically, and this is why I'm trying to tell y'all, they call this the cry, right? And the cry is, you open the court with the cry, right? That's a proud moment. That's a moment that if you know your stuff, man, you put everybody on. Like, whoa. If you know how to say your cry and you project it like that, and that's the cry, right? That's what they call the court cry. It's that, you guys know that. You heard that on TV. Hear you, that type of stuff, right? Okay. Well, there's certain people that's in the system that did not like doing it, and you guys know it, and I'm not naming none of you guys, but you guys know they hated that. Why? Because everyone in the courtroom, everyone, from the top to the bottom, from the court officer, the probation officer, the people in the audience, the defendant, the DA, the probation, every single person that's in that courtroom, those four walls, will have to stand in attention and look at you. And if you're not used to people looking at you, and if you're not used to having that control like that, then it will be the worst couple of minutes of your life. However, because I love it, and I'm going to prove to you guys just how much, one, that when you dedicate yourself, it's in your brain, it's in your DNA, right? It's in everything you know. So I'm going to prove to you right now, I'm not going to look at anything. I'm going to look right at the screen. I'm going to give you the cry that I know. Now, before I give you the cry, you have to realize this, right? I've been out of the court system since 2009, November 2009. This is November 2025. 25 minus 9, 16, right? 16 and 9 is 25. Okay. So I've been out of there since 16 years. Have not even been in it at all, right? 21-year-old kid out of the system, but yet what's still in my head, what's still in my DNA is the cry. Come on in here because you're right in time. Here we go. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable, the Justice of the Superior Court, now sitting in Boston for the transaction of criminal business within and for the county of Suffolk, draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and this honorable court. Court is open. Please be seated. Please put all reading materials away and take all conversations outside, please. Boom. See how I just did that? Didn't look, didn't do. I just looked it right at there. Now, one thing is I took pride in that, right? Two is I used to say to my people, my friends and stuff, hey, or whoever was in the court, whether it was my coworker or whatever, I said, hey, I want you to look at the judge when I do it and tell me every single thing the judge is doing. Because if I'm saying a cry, I'm in front of the judge, right? Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All rise, that sort of thing. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. So I used to say to my partners and them, hey, let me know what the judge does. And every single time, 10 out of 10, whether it's a male judge, female judge, white, black, or orange, they will always say that the judge is standing up, with their chest out, proud. Why? Because it makes the court official. It opens it up. It lets everybody know that I'm running the court. This is the judge. I'm the court officer. This is what we're doing. Please take all stuff outside. Right? That's me. That's in my brain. That's in my mind even now. That doesn't mean I want to go back and be a quarter. No, that means that some things in life, you just suck it up. And that's what I did. So, again, and I'm telling you guys all this to give a little meat and potatoes in this bread to let you know that I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to motivating and inspiring people, because I have a lot of this under my hat. So became a court officer, did all that for 20 years. what I did was I ended up taking in all the knowledge. I knew my rights. I knew the things that you could say, you could do to protect yourself. When I took on the courthouse in 2009, and people who know about that, I took that on, and one day I'll talk about that. I'll tell you guys about that journey. But that's also something that I had to take in, right? Because working there for 20 years, and see, and I'm putting it out here to you guys, right? Because yeah, we lose jobs. Yeah, we go through things, go through relationships, go through all that. But we have to come out that other end. We have to put our faith into something. We have to rely on people. We have to stay in our 90. We have to make sure we, respect people and humble each other and all that stuff, because I went through all of that. And people who know me know I went through a lot, man. I had dreadlocks back then. Went through that stuff, and they say that what stress comes out the weakest part of your body, which is your head. And that's kind of how I went that. But I used those tools. And also, as becoming a court officer, I also took up theater, took up comedy. People know that as well, that I took up comedy. In fact, I still have my material, right? Again, out there in front of people. At one point, I'm jumping around just to tell you guys. At one point, I became a job readiness trainer, which is why you guys, remember I told you, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. That's where this came from, right? And what happened with this is there's some people who I don't know if Felicia, you were a part of this. I'm not really sure. But there were some people in my class because, so basically Strive, I work for Strive. Strive is a job readiness training program that helps people who are going through all type of things. In fact, I wish we still had it now. If we do have it, it's probably online and stuff now. But when I was there, it was like, you come in hands-on, tangible. You come into my office, you sit there, we follow up. I go to prison, talk to, overcoming the odds, stuff like that, right? And I did that for like 3 years. Felicia's one of the people that came through the program. And I knew Felicia years before that when I was a court officer. And I was with her. Well, she was going through something, and I was an officer in that time. So see, Felicia and I went back to, 2008, 2007, something like that. So I've known this person here, and Felicia has her husband, she has her child, but it's the dedication and motivation for being a friend. Maybe it's her way of saying, hey, thank you for having my back. Now I got yours. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. So, back to that. So, like I said, guys, so in that court officer thing, then also while being a court officer, I was in a dance group. So I was dancing. Dance contests, you guys know this, winning contests and stuff. One of the stories I can tell you about that is when Braintree Mall first, had the big extension that they had. They had a big time dance contest outside, right? It was probably about 300 people, about 250 to 300 people. My dance group, we were part of that, right? But we couldn't go in, we couldn't enter it as a group. We had to enter it single. So me and probably 3 other of my guys, so basically they put a number on your back and your front and you dance and stuff. And then they would walk around, and if they tapped you on your shoulder, you would have to sit down. So I'm 6 foot, whatever, I'm dancing and stuff. And again, anyone who has watched this stuff, who knows this, they know that I actually did do this, right? So it came down to me and this other kid. And again, everything I'm telling you guys is the truth. It came down to me. And, back in the days, MTV, Downtown, Julie Brown, some people are old enough to remember that. Well, she was the DJ. She was the judge. And I liked them. And I liked MTV back then. But during that time, it came down to me and this younger kid, and I was jamming, right? And I used to have this gimmick because I'm tall, so I used to jump over a person and jump over a person and do a split and then jump up, right? That was kind of my gimmick. That was something that I did with me and my group. So I'm dancing with this kid, and come to find out, I want to try that. So long story short, guys, I did that. The crowd went crazy, but I still end up losing. And the reason why I lost, I found out, and everybody, even the crowd, even the kid thought I won. But The reason why I lost is because MTV and Downtown Julie Brown, they were looking for an inexperienced dancer. They weren't looking for someone who was experienced. And at that time, I had some years under my belt. So that was a dance contest. Again, guys, knowing, being around people, talking to people, interacting with people. When I became that job readiness trainer, I would graduate these people on the 5th week, right? So I would take them through this weekly program. And then the last 2 weeks, we would take them out to go get clothes and dressed up. And then we would put them on job interviews, job fairs, and then I would graduate them. So there's about 400 people out here in the world who have come through the program that I was working and has my signature on their certificate. And though some of those folks came together and they said, we wanted to do something to Mr. Thomas Flint, and that's what they did. See? One hand washes the other. So that's what I'm saying, guys. So after that, guys, acting. As a matter of fact, in terms of acting, you guys know CSI. Okay. So one of the guys on CSI, not Grissom, the one, the bow-legged one, the one, the heavy set round head, the cop that would go on the scene, not the medical exam, the one with the trench coat, round face that would go on the scene of the crime. His name is Paul Guilfoyle. Paul Guilfoyle was also, if you guys remember, Beverly Hills Cop 2. If you guys remember, he was the one at the Playboy Mansion that had the short hair, short blonde hair. And he was the one that Eddie Murphy was going at because he was smuggling or some stuff, right? And also, if you guys remember, The Negotiator with Samuel Jackson. In the very beginning, Samuel Jackson has a good friend of his who gets killed at the bar and stuff, which is why, which led to Samuel Jackson being framed. Well, that's Paul Guilfoyle. He was and I think he was yours too, Vanity. He was our substitute teacher. So he would come in and my mom and his mom met at one time, and I think, rest in peace, his mom passed away. So see, this is what I'm saying, man. I have this all in my background, guys. So after that, as you guys know, I know Bobby Brown and Bobby, my brother who passed away, Jimmy Flint. Rest in peace, bro. He was his best friend. And if you guys have seen the video, listen, I can talk about Bobby. We can have a whole nother conversation with that. That's a whole nother time. But it is the truth. He was my brother's best friend. We went to Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston's wedding. So we met Whitney Houston. Rest in peace, Whitney. Rest in peace. We met her, a down-to-earth person. She was beautiful. She was sexy, and she was a badass. She would whoop your butt if you messed with her. So, again, that's stuff that we had under our... So, yeah, guys. So, for the most part, I would say, guys, at the end of the day, with my motivation, even working at not Trader Joe's, the Trader Joe's guys. So basically, there was a healthy eating in the community that the gentleman from Trader Joe's, he came and started healthy eating in the community. I was a part of that when they first started, right? And I told you guys last week, there's a couple in about 3 or 4 areas. And I remember when I first started that, right? Again, that's something as well, right? So overall, guys, for the most part, I think I have a little bit under my umbrella. And lastly, I've been running a men's support group that turned into a men, women, and child support group for the last 12 years. I'm the creator, I'm the facilitator, and I'm the person who come out there every week. We used to do it every week. And I get the crowd going. I get everybody going. And we used to always talk about how do you keep coming all the time? And people used to say, because it's always, you never know what you're going to get. So basically, guys, I'm going to move on because I know we're close to time. I'm going to go a little bit after 8 if you guys don't mind. But basically, that's basically my resume, right? I left some stuff out, but I just want to lay that on the table to let you know that I'm not out here just lollygagging. No, I'm out here just trying to use all that I just told you, good, bad, or indifferent, to try to pass it on to you. So maybe, hopefully, you guys can pass it on to somebody else and things like that, okay? So let's move on because I don't like this reception is really, it keeps talking about reception is good, bad, whatever. But anyway, So let's talk about brain teasers. Y'all ready? You ready? I'm ready for y'all. But listen, I'm not even gonna mess with y'all really that much on that, right? It's been a long day for me. I'm sure it's been a long day for you. Let's get right into it. Okay. Brain teaser number one. A woman married 10 different men over the course of her lifetime, but she never got divorced, was not widowed, and not a polygamist. How? And a polygamist is someone who married to a bunch of people. A woman married 10 different men over the course of her lifetime, but she never got divorced and was not widowed and not a polygamist. How? She was a minister. She married those people. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. Moving right along. 2 fathers and 2 sons are in a car, yet there are only 3 people in the car. How? I'll read that again. 2 fathers and 2 sons are in a car, yet there are only 3 people in the car. How? Because it's a grandfather, a father, and a son. 2 fathers, 2 sons. Grandfather, father, and if it's 2 sons, one of the sons is the father, is the son of the father, and right? Yeah. When I hang up, just write it down. You'll figure it out. But anyway, yeah, it's a grandfather, father, and a son. Moving right along. What word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly? What word in the dictionary is spelled incorrectly? Incorrectly. You're almost looking for that part, right? Yeah. Incorrectly is spelled incorrectly in the dictionary. Moving right along. Come on, guys. You know I got you, man. You know I gotta have y'all have some fun. This can't be all business and all this because we're about to get into some really quick, man. Let's do some current events. Ooh, man. I got about 4 for you guys. And y'all know how we do it, right? What I love about this hour or so that I get on here, we don't know what's happening. You don't know what you're gonna get. Sometimes I don't know. I have my agenda. I have my stuff I gotta write. I have my stuff I gotta talk about. Right? Stuff I got. I be writing everywhere. I got you. I got y'all, man. Right? But then I want to stick close to time. It's been a long day for me, but yet I'm still out here for you guys. I love it. So let's get to the first of our current events. First one. Remember I told you guys about, women using your head, picking the right type of men, things of that such. Here's a case here. Again, Exhibit A. Okay, Florida woman in Lee County, Florida, Veronica Reyes. She defrauded $20,000. So she basically defrauded 20 victims worth about $20,000 to fund her boo in the county jail. So they're both in their 30s. And this is all, and again, anything I say up here for current events, guys, if you want to go up there and check it out, feel free to. Don't take my word for it, right? But, and again, I'm looking at this now, and if, just so you guys know, if this doesn't pan out well like that, I will be on, maybe tomorrow. Maybe this would be a little better because it says the connection is bad and all that. But anyway, we're going to keep it going because doesn't one monkey don't stop the show. So back to Dumb and Dumber. So the Florida woman who was out of prison, just so you guys know, she wasn't locked up. He was. She helped defraud 20 victims worth about $20,000 to fund him who's in jail. Guess where she is beside him? Nowadays, and they're in their 30s. You don't think that all these things will kind of, Okay, well, this what I'm trying to tell y'all. You're only as good as your weakest link. You got two people, Dumb and Dumber, right? It's bad enough that he's dumb in prison, in jail, but she's out. She has all the freedom, all the mind frame, and all that, but yet she chose to defraud people money around this time to fund, not to save a baby, not to save her life, to fund someone who's probably somebody's girlfriend in jail or what have you. No disrespect. That made no sense at all. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all, guys. You got to start doing better. You got to tell these women. Listen, when I talk and I go out at women, it's some women. When I go at men, some men. If I go at color, some black people, some white people, some. See what I'm saying? Not everyone. But come on, man. Come on. Come on. Moving right along. Okay, now it gets a little, these other two. So this one here is in Trenton, New Jersey. Elisa Murphy, 32 years old. She was described of as a rock of her family. Her mom passed away. She was holding her family of siblings down together. She ended up linking herself up with a bum, right? If you see the picture, her name is Elisa Murphy. If y'all pull that up, you're going to see his face and you're going to see hers. Beautiful woman. Beautiful. But this knucklehead decided he wants to argue with her in the car with a friend. He's in his emotion. Remember, I told you guys, okay, it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to get into a conflict. It's okay to have a problem. To me, like me, I had a bad day today, man. I had a bad day where I didn't think just me being on here to make it here to do this for you guys was like when I'm done with this, I'll probably knock right out, man, because it just took a lot out of me, man. Like the phone broke, the mechanical part of the truck wasn't working, the scanner that I scanned the packages, and you guys know how that is. You can't. I mean, people like Doohickey, who's in that. That's why I got my UFC, man. I'm ready to fight. Tap out or tap somebody out, right? But yeah, so that one. And when the phone broke, I mean, I'm on a temporary phone just to do this right here. This stuff just happened. Everything just trying. I'm saying, man, there must be a message that's getting out here. There must be something that's supposed to get out here today to touch some people that someone didn't want. Someone didn't want it to get out. But my Father, my Savior, Jesus Christ, him up there was just like, nah, I got a better plan. And this is why I'm here. So back to this knucklehead. He argued with this woman. She's in a car with someone else. His name is Lamont Truant, 36 years old. She's 32. He's in his feelings. He gets out and he starts shooting. He shoots her multiple times. A young woman who's in the car with her, she gets out. Barely, he hits her in the leg. And then Einstein gets in the car with the woman, whether she's dying or dead, drives around, and guess what he does? He goes over state lines. He goes from New Jersey to Pennsylvania. You heard me. He went over state lines. Like you're transporting a body from one state to another. It's jurisdictional. Turned yourself in. I guess that was supposed to be a pat on the back. I guess. Yeah. So here's a woman who was a pillar of her family, of the community. Her mom passed away. She took it amongst herself, which I'm sure the knucklehead who took her life would not have done. And she pulled up her woman bootstraps and she realized, I need to fill a void. My mom's gone. What can I do? And I'm going to tell you, watching her siblings and everyone talk about what they lost was heartbreaking. But that piece of crap, and see, that's what I'm saying. Just when I'm thinking I'm nice, just when I'm thinking, man, you're a little too hard on them. I just picked these up in the last couple of days, guys. That was bad. That was horrible. You are in your feelings. You can't just walk. And guys, listen, we've all been there. You're with a female, whether it's your mother, whether sister, girlfriend, wife, whatever, and they say something to make you walk away, do something. But to get out and shoot this woman and then end up shooting the person that was, come on, yo. But yet men want me to take a break on. No, I'm not. Accountability. Next one. Speaking of accountability, this one here, these last two, the last one is really, that's a special one. I'm gonna leave that one. Actually, no, I am gonna say that one. I'm gonna leave this as I segue into accountability. I want to talk about this specific one here because it goes back to what I was telling you about when I was this 21-year-old kid in school. Okay, so this right here, guys, came out of Cocata, Minnesota. There's a 20-year-old woman by the name of Amber Zeck. And I won't say this too many times, but I'm going to mention it here. She's a young white woman. She, short hair, probably a tomboy. To some knuckleheads out there, she could probably be a part of the LGBTQ just based on how she looked. But always think of this, guys. Don't judge a book by its cover. So, this young 21-year-old woman was beaten to death, I want you to hear me now, with a sledgehammer by a 40-year-old co-worker by the name of David Delone. This coward pounced upon this young person. Instead of praising her as a 21-year-old female, and the reason why I want to bring this up in terms of race at this particular point, because they were both white, is to let every one of you guys know that it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what your creed, doesn't matter what your sexual preference is, it doesn't matter what. Everybody's welcome on here. And if you make the news and you're a knucklehead or you're a victim of a knucklehead and they happen to be of a different color, race, creed, or whatever, religion, you're going to be up on here. That's just it. So I'm making this known to anybody out here who may think that I'm catering or swinging one way or another in terms of reporting in the hood or not. No. Everywhere. Because I have a lot of respect for this young woman. Remember, I told y'all, 21 years old, I was in the system of a bunch of privileged people, just like this man right here. So listen to this. So he was saying that he always thought of killing her. It makes you think about workplace violence. It makes you think about who around you that you work with, that you see. Because remember, when you work with someone, it's almost like you're as close as family because you see each other all the time. And imagine someone is thinking about hurting or killing you. That's what this coward did. He admitted that he was going to do that. He admitted that he didn't like her. He admitted that he wanted to kill her for a while. And he ended up killing her. It was at Advanced Processing Technologies. And it's an industrial job, right? That it I guess it makes containers of metal containers for dairy and food and things of that such. This young woman was a welder. This woman, she loved welding, loved the job. She graduated in 2024. She played ball, was a 3-point shooter. She had passion for welding. And I try to make sure I write down a lot of things, everything I could about this young person. But this piece of crap, jealous, insecure, misogynistic, racist. Because what I believe, when you look at the picture of this young woman, this bum dude who was nobody, remember I told you about accountability, pick your bootstraps up, be a man. Protect, remember I told you that, protect, look out for her. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to search and destroy. So what I think of, remember I told you about that, the White Boy Network. And I don't mean that because I got a lot of friends on here of different races and colors. But if you are part of that network, then you are who you are. Remember I told you guys, it's not what you called, it's what you're answered to. So this dude here who admitted that he wanted to kill her, he probably saw this young person coming in here because from what I understand, welding is not an easy job. It's a high paid job and you have to pass tests. And this 20-year-old person came in here and whooped ass. And I'll say that. Kicked ass. And this dude saw something that he wished he could be. He probably didn't like the fact of a woman in the job. Probably didn't like the fact that she looked tomboyish, but to him, he probably looked at her as a dyke or a lesbian or a stud. And instead of him just taking his marbles and go home, he takes a sledgehammer. Because I guess where they were sitting at, they share tools and stuff. He takes this sledgehammer and he proceeds to beat this girl multiple times. And this is my channel, so I'm not trying to, it's not like YouTube and stuff where you got to monetize. I don't care about no money. You can only imagine if you get hit once with a sledgehammer, multiple times. What a coward. And that's why I come out and I say what I say about these so-called men. And I'm a man who sit up here and can't, and they're in their emotions. And the kicker to this is, the DA, they had a nerve to say, we're going to charge him with second-degree murder. We may have to think of first-degree. Well, first-degree murder is premeditation. So what are you talking about? That's what first-degree murder is, premeditation. If this man is saying, I thought of killing her, he admitted it, he didn't like her, he thought of killing her for a while, he ended up doing it. That's what premeditation is. So for them to even think of that, okay. So listen, because I was that 20-something-year-old person in the working world, because I was someone that they looked at different, because I was someone that because I looked at different, they didn't want me there, because I exceeded the expectations of what they wanted, what they thought they were. I got a lot of respect for you, Miss Amber Zek. In my heart, and my condolences go out to your family, because you just got killed for doing a good job. You got killed for making somebody look worse. Because if your worth ethic, right? Because if your worth ethic wasn't where it was, then maybe this insecure piece of crap wouldn't have did what he did. But because he saw you walk through that door, it reminded him of something that he wished he had. It reminded him of something he wished he could do. He's stuck in that job, stuck in a rut. And you come in there, and I saw your pictures of you smiling. You're a ball player like that. Rest in peace. That should not happen to anyone. And for this piece of crap. So this is what I'm talking about with these men. This is what I'm trying to say about this stuff, man. Man, we have to do better. We like, okay, we're in our feelings. Stuff don't go right. So what? I'm going to share you guys with two more things. Yeah, all this stuff, guys, just, excuse me, it's just going all crazy around here. That's how you just so know. Okay. Two more things here. So this one here, guys, is something that's going to lead into my last thing of accountability. This one here, guys. So everything I touched on, right, so far is man, woman. Now we got child. Of the product of the fabric of the household, right? I just told you two stories with men, one with a woman. Check this out. Pregnant woman and her sons were jumped by the kids' bullies. Elementary school, guys. So you heard it again. Pregnant mother and her sons who were bullied. The sons were being bullied by kids in elementary school. The mother takes the kids to school. Guess what happened? So this 33-year-old mother, Krishanda Hatter, she had to be escorted to the school. Her sons were bullied by these kids who ended up pouncing on a pregnant mother. It happened. They were bullied before, so that wasn't the first time. Obviously, the community are out there supporting her, demanding Accountability, they want them not only expelled, but arrested. And there's a video out there with 1 million views. And I'm trying to beg people to watch 600, 500 of 1 million views. This is what I was telling y'all last week. Don't want to support somebody, but want to watch 1 million views of a mother, a pregnant mother who got on there and said that she was pushing her kids out of the way. She was taking their abusers on the other side of the street so they would jump on her and not her kids. See what I'm saying? We got to do better. Now, accountability means that every single one of those kids who, as a parent, you knew your kid was there, they should be at the school, they should be at the police, they should be right there. Here's my child, here. Handle your business with them. And that would be the first induction in accountability. If not, those kids are going to grow up and think that, you know what? Putting my hands on a pregnant woman is not bad after all. Beating up kids, nothing's going to happen to me. Guess what? No accountability. Those kids are going to grow up and they're going to think that's the right thing to do. It comes a time when we got to step up. We got to stop this. And speaking of, and I'm segue right into accountability. And I'm going to end it with this and end it with a couple more things. But then I'm not going to take too much of your time because I'm going to tell you this connection thing is really getting to me. In the sense of it's going in and out and people haven't come in, so I don't know what's going on. But on accountability, guys, some of you guys who have been in the sports, you may be familiar with this name. If not, please pull it up, Google it. Because if this doesn't tell you what everything that I was telling you about accountability, when I was telling you guys about the hair, humility, accountability, integrity, respect, this is the total opposite of what I was telling you. When I was telling you guys about the 90-10, staying your 90, you know what I mean? Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you deal with. Okay. We have this ball player. And I'm closing my book on this one. By the name of Sebastian Telfair. Right? So some of you guys know he was a ball player back in the days. He was on Sports Illustrated. He was on Slam Magazine with LeBron. He was supposed to be that guy with LeBron, the guard. He's a relative of Stephon Marbury, which I didn't know. I was surprised at that because Stephon Marbury was the man, right? And this Telfair gentleman, he had all. Now, see, the reason why I'm bringing this up because I'm not on this man for what he went through. I'm on him for where he puts himself now and his family and the lack of accountability. And I'm going to drop it on this right here. So basically, this man who was millions in the NBA, he lost it by way of bad investments, fraud, whatever it is. He lost all of that. So jump to now, he decides, now he's about to go to prison for about 6 months. And he decides that he wants to make a woe is me video as he goes away, right? I guess it's supposed to be his last chance for everybody to kind of smile, right? And don't show him accountability. So, and what led him to this is gun charges. He had a bulletproof vest. He had magazines. He had automatic weapons. He had things of those such. Got in trouble in the NBA. In fact, he even played for Boston. One of the things I found out that was amazing to me was he was gonna end up if he would have done his thing right, he would have been Rondo. They ended up getting rid of him. I think Delonte West and Rondo they played a part of that trade, man. They got rid of him because because Doc Rivers saw he was picking up too many gun cases and all this other stuff. So and it declined. So he ends up leaving the NBA or whatever. The NBA had enough of him. He's picking up gun cases or what have you, a federal case, right? We already know feds don't play with that. Now, this is the reason why I'm bringing this up about accountability. This is the one where he can't bull crap. He can bull crap everybody on TV, his girl and all. He can't bull crap people like me and people like Kenny Pires, junior and senior. Rest in peace. He can't pull a wool over our eye because we've been there. We know that, right? So basically, He has to do time because he violated his probation from the previous cases. So I'm jumping up a little bit. So basically, he lost everything. He's back in the projects, right? So he takes the camera, he takes it out to his old neighborhood. He's proud of the fact that nobody touches his bike. He leaves his bike out there. He walks around. He talks, he sounds like he's about doing the right thing until he starts moving and talking still. And then you start seeing, remember, listen, guys, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. When I looked at that guy, I'm just looking at him like, so. But I wanted to give him another chance, right? So I'm listening to him. So then he has this video on here of him before he's about to go in. So he has his girlfriend there. I think he has 4 kids he has 2 with her, but she has 4 altogether. So she's braiding his hair and he's sitting there. Now he's starting to tear up and he's starting to do something that made me mad. He started putting guilt on her. He started saying to her is that she should hold it down and make sure she locked the door. And he's making her feel bad for doing time, that he's doing time. And I'm watching this. And again, he's complaining about the system. He's complaining about he has to go get it. So what the violation was, guys, all the judge wanted him to do was to get a 9-to-5, a job. Obviously, go through whatever job and stuff. Don't leave New York, whatever the situation is, right? This is where I saw he was full of crap. Because we all know in the court system like that, they have a colloquy, what they call a colloquy. And they have we have a pair of green piece of paper and they check off all the stuff that you have to do. And they have you look at it. And this is why I used to tell people, man, read. Don't just sign something. Don't just say yes to get the hell out the door. So he's, okay, you sure, Mr. Sebastian Telfair? Okay, you're going to do that. Go do this. So his whole thing is he's getting mad, man, the judge want me to work at some damn McDonald's. I ain't working at no damn, I'm a millionaire. And the kicker to this is he has his dumbass sidekick brother. Remember I told you guys about accountability. Remember I told you guys about having people who are objective as opposed to subjective, right? Objective are people who don't care who you are. If you need to hear it, you need to hear it. If you need to, get lambasted, if you need to get whatever, objective person to do that. A subjective person will sit there and they will enable you. And they will sit there and see where this is going. So that brother is looking at Sebastian Telfair as his meal ticket. And he's sitting there and he's not. So now he's walking with his brother. He gets the word that the judge is not gonna, he wants him to turn himself in. So now he's crying. His brother's sitting there, got his hand on his shoulder. Oh man, they did you wrong. That effing probationer, that effing judge. They want you to get an effing job at McDonald's. What the hell? They're trying to break your spirit. No, I'm watching this thing here. So then they're on the bench. And now I guess he's weeks away from getting locked up or whatever. So he's on an interview. And I don't even like this interview of dude, but it's the whole purpose of he's asking them questions. So they're sitting beside each other. His brother, the one who's not showing accountability, he has shades on. He's sitting there. You can tell he's mad because his meal ticket's leaving. And now he's days away from getting turned in. But before I do that, let me go back to the girlfriend thing, right? So he's sitting there, she's braiding his hair, he's making her feel bad and stuff. So she said something that I wanted to salute her. So as he's talking, he's about to go away. He's making her feel bad that she's going to have to do it all herself and make sure you lock the door and all this. She looked at him and she said, we weren't together when you did those crimes. You weren't with me when you did that. And I wanted to salute the TV. Because I'm saying to myself, she's absolutely right. It's your time. Why are you getting mad at me? Why are you putting this on me? It's your time. And she finally started talking back. And he was making her feel so bad that he was about to do time. And she was like, you weren't thinking about me and the family when you did that stuff. I'm going to have to deal with it as well. I was sitting there and, for the first time when she said, you weren't with me when you did that stuff, he calmed down a little bit. Right? Because she threw it right back at him. Okay? So now we jump back to the brother, Mr. Accountability Less. So now they're on Vlad TV. Some guy, right? Some guy on YouTube who they say exploit people of color and all this stuff. So I just wanted to see the interview. So he's talking to him. Okay, so the judge said, so you're getting locked up for this. So they got upset because it really seemed like, man, the judge wasn't asking much of you. So now they turn on the interviewer. Oh man, see, that's where you're going. That's where you're going with it. Why don't you just ask that question? So the brother, so he says, again, Sebastian Telfair says, again, they want me to get some effing McDonald's job. What the hell they think this is? That was the opportune time for that brother, accountability, to look and say, yeah, bro, you gotta get a job, man. Yeah, but no, you know what he did? Just like a fan, just like a subjective fan, just like a groupie. Oh man, they messing up his spirit. They messing up his spirit. It's a victimless crime. Well, sir, most crimes, if not all crimes, are victims in it, bro. So for you to sit up there and say it's a victimless crime, so basically he got caught up in some healthcare fraud as well. So he's trying to have people think, man, they froze my money again. And his brothers just said, yeah, they froze your money because your money was connected to the fraud thing, probably. Yeah, bro, you have to get a job. You know what? I'll come with you. Let's go get a job together. Nope. He was sitting there like some fair weather fan that sees his meal ticket about to go, and all he kept saying was, they're trying to break his spirit. They're trying to break his spirit. They're trying to break it. And I'm sitting there like, this is what I mean, guys. And this is why his butt is going to go away for 6 months. Remember, I told you before I end this on a mic drop. Remember, I told y'all about the humility, accountability, integrity, respect. He didn't humble himself. He's not. No one's holding him accountable. He's not holding himself accountable. His integrity, remember what I told y'all about integrity? It is character. And character is what you do when no one's watching. Well, he was supposed to do certain things. Probation wasn't watching. The courts wasn't watching. The judge wasn't watching. His girl wasn't watching. Even his brother wasn't watching. Integrity. He refused to do that. So instead of him taking all that, you're 0 for 3 now. Humility, accountability, integrity. The last one, respect. How does he respect the judge? How does he respect probation when he's on TV talking, right? And the funny thing about it, right, it's so funny. They didn't read each other's script, right? So you got the brother who's about to get locked up. It's his time. And you got the brother who's the meal ticket. He feeds off of him. He's sitting there. Now he goes off script and start attacking the judge. Now, keeping in mind, my man's about to get locked up. So he's like, yeah, man. And he's making it personal to get the judge. So even Sebastian Telfair stopped and said, well, I'm not trying to make it personal. And the brother had to stop, right? So they were crossing up each other. So the brother was sounding like the lawyer / doctor / all of that. And Sebastian was sitting there like going with it, but then realized, oh, man, I'm not trying to make it personal with the judge and stuff. I'm sitting up there like, these two dudes here, least y'all could have did was been on the same page. Least you could have did was read the same script. But now you just seem like, again, guys. So if you haven't noticed, what I told you guys, one, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you deal with it. Okay, so even if he got into that, he could have still changed the 90% by doing what he was supposed to do. I told you guys about having subjective and objective, and look at what's going on. I told you humility, accountability, integrity, respect. If you have those 4 things, you will always have a great outcome. That's the complete opposite of what I told you. See? Lack humility, no accountability, his integrity is on his feet, is in the trash, and he lacks respect. So that's the reason why this man, who's not, to me, okay, stuff happens, right? I lost my job, right? After 20 years and stuff, right? That's not it. It's how you bounce back. Resilience. Yeah, you may not ever you're not going to make that money again. No, you're never going to be that to that caliber, but you can turn it around, right? Because what he failed to tell people, and what I know, is that sometimes you can violate probation and still not go to jail, because the probation, even if the probation officer want to lock you up, If the judge looks and see that you've been trying, that you've been doing something, that you have a job, that you have some type of stuff that you're trying to do, that you are going to get that McDonald's job, because I believe that they didn't say McDonald's. They just said any 9 to 5. And they broke some things down. And he just picked McDonald's to make you think, oh, he just wanted me to go work at some damn McDonald's. Bro, to keep your butt from going to jail, to keep your butt home, to protect your woman, to protect your kids, to be there to lock the door, you may have to go up there and do whatever you got to do, bro, legally. And for him to say, oh man, this is a bunch of bull crap and all that, there was the respect. So see, that's the reason why this man is going to go. He's probably locked up now. I think he went in August. That's the reason why he's going to jail. That's the reason why he's doing 6 months. That's the reason why. So, as I end this, guys, because man, we went a little longer, but you know what? I don't know how much of this stuff got taped. And if it is, that's great. I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m., God willing. Also, what this tells me, you know, because my phone really, as I was working, it dropped, it broke. I had to use a temp phone. And that's what I'm doing now. Again, it just shows you, man, one monkey don't stop the show. Just because you have a bad day, just because you have a bad evening, just because you have a bad experience doesn't mean you have to engulf your whole day, your whole mood. Because as I was getting ready for you guys, man, I wanted to come in and I wanted to do this. And you motivated me. You guys motivated me well, and I really appreciate it. So I thank you guys. I hope that I said something here to inspire somebody, right? I'll talk more next week about some things. And, you know, and that's just how things are, right? Sometimes we have good days and talking, bad days. Sometimes your energy's up, sometimes it's down, but we're normal human people. But I want you to know I love you. I want you to know I thank you. Thank you for those 550 people who have watched my thing. My second to the last one, to the almost 400 people who watched this last one. Just keep it going, share it, because I know that that's what you guys are doing, and I love you for it, because that's how I'm going to get my comeuppance. Every time I see those views, every time I talk to people who may have watched it and checked it out and have taken one thing from it, that's all that matters. Because I believe that if it's meant for you to hear it, it's meant for you to hear it. If it's meant for you to inspire you, it's meant to inspire you. And I believe that the way today went down today, there's somebody out there that this word wasn't supposed to get to. And it probably got to it. Okay? So I'm out of here, guys. I'm going to go rest. You go rest. I went a little bit over because I'm thinking and I'm hoping that there is no technical difficulty. I'm going to drink it. This is good. I just want to say I love you. And for some of you guys who think that I took a little bit more of your time today, forgive me. It was not that purpose. It wasn't meant to be. But as we got to, the show must go on no matter what. Okay? So I love you. I thank you. Thank you for coming in, spending time. Thank you for watching your boy, because it means so much more than you'll ever know. I'm T. Flint. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And on behalf of me and the people who care about me, I just want to say, I love you. I'm out. You be safe. And I'll see you guys next Wednesday. And if by chance of anything, something goes wrong and I don't make it out on there first, check the comments to make sure I'm okay. But then just know there must be something wrong with the phone. I'll be on there shortly thereafter, okay? I love you guys. I'll see you. Be safe. Keep your eyes open. Be aware. Watch out for each other. And watch out for them damn people out there, because they are acting up. I love you. I'm out. See ya.